Welcome back. Welcome back, One Crack News. Let's get into it. Now, when you're making moves in a positive direction and you're making moves in a direction that makes sense, you're often going to be put in scenarios where they recognize you're going to be around for the election. So now we're in February. I'm aware tomorrow is February. I like to be ahead of them. Like to stay ahead. Like Nikki Haley likes to get ahead. Nikki Haley was indeed one of the main persons of interest, if you want to say, um, involved in this like scandal, not the TV show scandal, but scandal period that was happening with some blogger, a guy who like, you know, allegedly, you know, so all the Virginia voters, South Carolina, you know, all this extramarital madness that you've been hearing. It's like saying, the state was starting to have an embarrassing scandal, like Mark Sanford, who was limping out the office. I remember what was that last year when he covered up an affair. Um, Everybody was making fun of Mark Sanford, but now all of a sudden, this thing has gotten so big when Mark Sanford, who was with Will Folks and Nikki Haley, and all of this stuff just grew legs of its own. Now, a lot of people said, "Oh well, she looks attractive." She reminds me of that girl from Seinfeld. What was her name? Julia Dreyfus. Yeah, she reminded me of Julia Dreyfus. So except for she got like this John Kerry type chin, like you could play records on it or something. That's what Nikki Haley kind of reminds me of, but to each his own. Well, Will Folks is a political consultant and now is a blogger. Um, and saying that he would document claims that he had a relationship with Nikki Haley. When he's in a photo in between the both of them, the husband and Nikki, he's hugging both of them. Oh my God. Now, she's supposed to be the front runner. And she was endorsed by Sarah Palin, saying, I have been 100% faithful to my husband throughout our 13 years of marriage. Now, both the accused and the accusers claim that, they're in the same political camp. Now, they saying they have strong ties and all this stuff, right? And his admission to the affair led to televised tears and then a divorce, right? So Mr. Folks was a spokesman for Mr. Sanford from 2001 to 2005. And Miss Haley is one of the governor's few political allies in the state legislature, right? So Jenny Sanford, the governor's ex-wife, have campaigned for Nikki Haley and wanted her to be the governor, and was widely expected to do before this scandal diminished his political clout. So now Mr. Folks himself has been a cheerleader for Nikki Haley on his blog. For months, Nikki, who has two kids, and regarded as a long shot candidate opposed by a congressman, the attorney general, the lieutenant governor. But she won support from the Tea Party. And after a visit and endorsement from Mrs. Palin on May 14th, her political fortunes soared as she's vaulted into the lead. And they saying now Nikki Haley's political enemies are shopping the story that she had an alleged relationship, which he told reporters took place in 2007 when he worked for her campaign as a political consultant. Mr. Folks married the following year. In his blog post, Mr. Folks said that he warned that Haley campaign of leaks and that she was forced to preemptively acknowledge the relationship. On Tuesday, Mr. Folks went further, blaming operatives and ties to the campaign of the United States Representative Mr. Grissom, and said that Nikki Haley's Republican opponents was pushing the story about him and Mrs. Haley. Mr. Barnett's campaign manager, Luke Byers, denied that. Dirty politics seems to be, rampant here in South Carolina. One candidate has had to contend with reports that he was a closet homosexual, and in February, the state and the newspaper in Columbia published emails from a Republican office holder, Richard Eastrom, the state's controller general, said to the Republican candidates and the superintendent, Kelly Payne, that these details break up a relationship. Mr. Eastrom was married but separated, his campaign officials said. You see, all of this is a nut job. And Nikki Haley said these allegations was against her is not surprising. It's a smear campaign. It's disgraceful and just ridiculous. And it has taken form less than a week removed from the release of the poll showing that I had a significant lead. Is it quite simple that South Carolina politics is at its worst? So she went on the radio, implied that Mr. Folks might be benefiting from his claim. Political consultants in South Carolina take care of those that pay them. And Nikki said he had not had any paid position, direct contract, or subcontract with any of the campaigns for her, and said his blog is jarring mix of political scoops. He was the first to break the news on the Sanfords and had been seeing a marriage counselor before Mr. Sanford's affair became public. And photos of the women and everything else, off-color remarks, posts, to refer to Mr. Folks as a bad boy and cite the state's hottest news babe. Like this is like some of the stuff he does. Now, peace. Soul brother in the Mecca. What's up? Nikki Haley situation sounds like a lost episode of House of Cards. Great way to put that. But another way of putting it is like this. Nikki Haley is somebody that I can't trust. I could tell you right now, I don't trust Nikki Haley. So if I'm looking at Nikki Haley, she just has the look of something I don't trust. If you can see that right there, look at her. That woman would lie and say she would sit there and crash her car and blame it on a black man. Don't she look like John Kerry? I swear that looks like John Kerry's daughter or something. That I don't see a truthful thing in her. That's me looking at John Kerry all over again. Now, if we're looking at this correctly, right? When we're seeing this play out the way it is, the screen is black. They can't. Oh my gosh, they're not showing you the screen. You can't see it on my end. I can see it. Is the screen all black for y'all? Oh, okay. Right. She looks like John Kerry. That's John Kerry. That looked like that could be her daddy. That's him when he was younger. He looked just like her. They got them prominent chins. See, he was younger, the chin just stuck all the way down. Then he got older, and that chin just like that's him today. Surgery, all kind of stuff done. John Kerry. They look just alike. Yeah, I don't trust Nikki as far. She looked like the type of woman that would lie and say, "Hey, that black man did it." She has not told the truth. She has told about 50 lies since she been up there. And they was like, "Well, you said this in the campaign." No, you took that wrong. Oh boy, if anybody's a Karen, this is it. And they want to elect her as president of the United States of America. Oh, good Lord. We are going backwards, sliding down the razor blade. Does that look like a face you could trust? No. That looked like the witches of, of Eastwick Part 2. Well, they always want what they can't have. Oh, yeah. She always played a victim card. Nikki Boom Boom Knockers. No, she just doesn't look trustworthy. Now, if I seen her as a witch, which I do see her as a witch, this is something that's on the list of being a reason I don't trust her. She seems like a liar, and she was caught in a lot of lies. Why would someone vote for someone that comes through the door lying and giving you mistrust? Well, of course you don't know how the Civil War started. They haven't prepped her for that. In the words of my grandpappy, the truth is not in her, boy. No, you see someone that wants to win an election but doesn't know how to be president of the United States of America. You're kind of leery about that. Because one, I know I would be. I don't see nothing with her husband. Vote for who you want. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you I don't trust her one bit. She said, she would have sent the migrants back already and closed the borders. Let's see if we can go through. Sure you would, Nikki. Sure you would. Let's go through some of her lies. Mm, her position on Gaza, refugees, it was a run office made by Clinton, her efforts. Yeah, yeah, like all of the things that she's saying, she's having specific comments about it, and it's being rebuted because it does seem a lie. Some statements don't actually contain checkable facts. She does say a lot that doesn't claim to have checkable facts. Gender transition care. Oh, DeSantis is worse. I'm like, if it's between those two running for the Republican Party, I can vote Republican. That's just awful. If it's between these two, America, the Republican is doomed. He's just trash. Blatant known racist, narcissist, conservative, just insane. She's insane conservative, pretending not to be racist and everything else, but is probably the same, just female version of him. I don't trust any of these people. So for me, the Republican Party is doomed. And if they say he dropped out, it's between her and Trump. Hell, we ain't got no choice but to vote for Trump. If it's between Trump and her, you gonna have to probably vote Trump. It's your decision, but I'm just saying. And then I know Joe ain't running again. Is Joe running again for office? Well, Joe should be in a home somewhere getting care. Right. He's still gonna be taxed. He said at this point, I'd rather vote for Don King. Don should run. Don about 90. That's right. You know the prognosticators are prognosticators. They want to tell you one thing and then they want to do nothing. That's why we're going to have a debate. It's called Letting It Go in Mexico. We're going to go do a debate in Mexico. It's outside of the United States of America. Don would be selling tickets to the debate and everything. You know, man, this is the debates on pay-per-view this year. Don's got it hooked up. We got a concert. We got some fights, and we got Frankie Beverly and Maze finna perform. They gonna sing the national anthem. Then the debate gonna start. Why give away what we can sell for free? I mean, the white man gets paid on everything he does. Why can't the black man get paid everything he does? Mm-hmm. I see it. But as the world turns, this is what they do. Lie. Yeah, Republican Party's doomed. The Democrats, I might be voting. Who's running for independent? I might have to vote for independent. Trump will never be in there. He'd be in jail before he's in the White House. Um, where is hey, you got a guy from India? He's running? Oh, Vivek. I'm gonna vote for the Indian guy, man. I'd be y'all 7-Elevens have never let me down. I'm going independent this year. But anyway, I'll get back with y'all later before they call this a political hate video. All right, I'm gonna be on Carcino for Life channel in about, give me a little bit, probably about 20, 30 minutes. I should be going live over there. Hopefully you get an alert. If not, check. Deuces.